And now for something just a little bit different. I think it's important for the stories of God's people to continue to be told. Wherever the name of Jesus is lifted up, wherever his spirit is growing in the midst of his people, that the stories of his people need to be told. And so whether this is called testimony or storytelling, the label is not important, but the impulse is. Because wherever Jesus is proclaimed, his people tell his story, and it looks different in all of our lives. So I've invited Doreen to have a conversation with me over Zoom and share a little bit about what she sees God doing in her life, and especially as she's been leading a Joining Jesus home team. I hope you'll benefit from this conversation and look for more like it in days to come. Okay, so maybe just a really good starting open-ended questions. How has God been working in your life recently?
Well, I definitely feel he's been there. I've During this time of quarantine, I've been allowed the opportunity to be more in his word, and pray a lot more often. And by having your daily vlogs and by the church services and by participating in those church services, and then watching like I've been watching a lot of Max Lucado,
Mm-hmm.
little videos on YouTube too, and then by leading our Joining Jesus group, it's also brought me closer to the Word and to looking to see what he might be up to. And then I get a lot of inspiration from those people in my group. And I'm really enjoying getting to know them, and we all are supportive of each other. And so that's what I feel like he's been up to.
Yeah, sounds like he's been messing with you pretty well.
Yeah, I love it.
Yeah, well, those missional practices that in the Joining Jesus book, the one that keeps on jumping out at me a lot is that you got to enjoy people. And it sounds like, at least in your Joining Jesus group, you're getting an opportunity to enjoy people in a new way. And that's a spiritual muscle that needs to be flexed more often, I think, so to speak.
Yeah, and it's something that anybody can do. I mean, we all like to have friends, and so we can all get to know each other and enjoy each other.
Right, right. If the Christian community can't be a laboratory for that kind of work, I don't know what it's supposed to be. So, yeah, I'm glad to hear that's been a part. So, while you've had to be in quarantine and kind of away from people face to face, what kind of lessons do you think God has been teaching? What insights has he been bringing to mind for you?
Well, I think the first thing that I figured out was that, our church really isn't just the building, and just to see how we're still staying connected and what we're doing as a church, is just a new enlightening to me that, oh yeah, we're not just the building. Um, then I've thought about the idea of, I like that every week we go and we become refueled as we go to church services, and we help our own spirituality grow. But I'm just realizing more and more that then we have to take that out into the world, and we have to share Christ with other people. And then my last new insight has kind of been that you can still make a difference in people's lives even if you're at home, because I'm really feeling that, and I'm seeing other people who are making a difference, and so it's really nice.
Yeah, those are such beautiful insights. So maybe the last question I have for you is, what kind of things have you learned in the quarantine, especially with leading that group, that you'd like to kind of step into once we're able to be eyeball to eyeball?
I think it's important for us to practice things in our group. We're starting to practice praying out loud more often, and that's just, it's hard to do at first, but we're trying to get comfortable with it so that when we meet a friend who's, in a situation that they're struggling with, and we offer to pray with them, that we'll feel more comfortable and able to do that, in their presence.
a big word of thanks to Doreen for being willing to do something new and different and be the first one out of the gate. I know that's a little scary and requires some courage, but I'm thankful that there are others in the conversation telling the stories of Jesus and what he's been up to, because he is at work in our community, and it's exciting to see. I hope you're encouraged by this, and that we have opportunities to do this with other folks who are seeing the kingdom grow in their midst.